Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. So in this series of videos I want to go over the coding of the front end, which I haven't covered yet. But before we do that, I want to see if I could expand this, because I've got it under control yet. So just let's take a look what it is. When you first come onto the website, I didn't want Keycloak to kick in and take full control, but you've got to have Keycloak running in the backend as part of the infrastructure which I'm running at the backend with the backend API microservices, right? So but you can see that the user is not logged in here, and there are some functionalities that requires the user to log in, but to view the product the user does not need to log in. A lot of videos that I've seen, Keycloak just kick in, and I had to find a way to make sure that it doesn't kick in, because you can go into a shop and browse the shop without purchasing anything. However, when you do want to purchase, then obviously you have to be a registered member, and then you have to log in to make sure that you are able to do any of these stuff apart from browsing. Yeah, okay. So what you've seen me use this thing. So in order for me to buy something, it doesn't work, obviously I need to show a message to tell the user to log in, but I am showing a message that says missing token or username. It's got to make sense. At the moment it doesn't, and I intend to work on it, but not at the moment. So that means we need to log in. So we're going to log in, then this is when Keycloak kicks in. So you're going to log in with this user, and then Melissa is logged in, and then it shows Sophia is logged in, and it shows her details here, right here. We can actually go into, I've linked it to Keycloak, so that all this data is being pulled from Keycloak, and the data, it can be edited and cancelled, or even cancelled. So we can log out. If they purchase something, we will see. If they bid on something, we'll see here, and where they want to sell products. So if they want to sell a product, they can come here and sell and hit command. So in the near future, I want to be able to write tests, and I'm thinking about Playwright, Python, and I'm going to do that before I start adding more details here, because it's hard work. You break the code as you look into it to fix things, and I do a lot of research and all sorts of stuff if I can get things working, and then I break the code. So I need something to help me control things, as you can see. So any bid is showed here. So it says you have no bid, you have not bid on any item yet. This is when we purchase products. So let me just go back to the website, and then I'm just going to purchase a product, so which is for 1200, right? And then I've added it to the cart, but now the cart shows, and if I want to say view the cart, I'm just gonna close it here. I'm just gonna go to checkout, and then we pay for it. Okay, so we've created a product, and if we were anywhere else, we want to find out if we purchase something, we just come here and it shows us the list of purchases, right? Fantastic. Now let me go back and let me see if I can bid on this. This is 160. Let me submit and make a bid for it. So it needs to be bigger than the 160. So let me just try and see if I want to bid 150. Something should happen. Say fail to bid, please try again. So it's not a very good one. I need to change that one, but it didn't go through because it's smaller than the size. So if I just bid 70, it should go. So right now I have done a bid, and if I put through a bid, and if I go into my bids, this is what I've bid on. It shows the price, that the bid price that I've got, and this is the original price, right? So you can see why we need the Playwright or some sort of UI automation, because once I start editing this again, it's gonna take me a long time and it breaks the code. So I need to make sure that I run the test consistently to make sure that when I'm editing stuff, and there's a lot of stuff here that we can do. For example, when you've got a bid going, you need, I think at the moment what I've done is I've set up to 3 minutes or something. That means anyone that bids on the same product, after the 3 minutes we can close it, and then the winning bid will be calculated. All right, so we've seen how to purchase a product and how to bid on a product. I mean, I think that will be the main functionality here, apart from the fact that you can edit your profile and stuff like that. This one I haven't got it hooked yet because I just don't have it hooked working yet, which I can work on in the near future. But for now, that this is what we've got. Now there's a lot more behind this, and the front end are two different things. So let me go back into Keycloak again, and hopefully we can take a look at it again. 9098. So I hope it goes to the admin. Yeah, right. So we can log in as the admin, if I can remember the last time I logged in. I think it's admin or password, or yeah, it logs in. Say save. Okay, so we are now inside Keycloak, and back in some of my videos I have already showed this Keycloak and what is doing. But inside Keycloak is the master Keycloak, but we want to go into our RAM. Yeah, so we select our RAM. I've already gone over this, but I'm showing you the clients that I have. So inside my clients, inside my RAM, I have 2 more clients that I've created. I've got a Ocean client and an Ocean front end, right? So this one is for the backend, and I've already gone over this in my some of my previous videos. That's the backend, but today we want to take a look at the front end. This is the front end, and you can see that I've got a valid under the valid redirect URIs. I'm referring to my local host Angular app, /x and / you need to make sure that it's /x like that, so that it understands your Angular app and all that. And I'm using, I've chosen just standard flow because that's what will work with the front end. Okay, you can take your time and read it, but I spent some time reading and going through this, and I found that for the front end to work the way you need it to work, that is the settings you choose. Front end logout, I've chosen it for a reason, because when I want to log out I use Keycloak. But that's not important. The most important thing is to note that basically, yeah, you give it your client ID, the name, and a small description, but importantly is the settings for the valid post out, redirect URLs, and all that stuff. So I'm using Keycloak basically to do the redirects, and also the all outs and all that stuff. I did go through a whole lot of stuff here which I added in my previous videos, but this is the settings, and that's all you need for I have enabled it. Yeah, so the most important thing is that the authentication flow, you choose just standard, leave everything else alone, and obviously the redirects is your application, and that's what you need for Keycloak. From Keycloak, go back here. All right, so this is why I've got the client ID, which is the same as this client ID. So you can see the client ID is this one, Ocean Frontend, yeah, and it's inside the Ocean RAM, yeah. So that's the settings for your Keycloak. I hope you understand. I've created a file called user profile, and that just represents the user details. So we got email, preferred username, all these. If you go into, if you can get a user's let me just show you anyway, because otherwise I'm talking in the air. You can get all those details from when you log in into the user. So let me just log in into a certain user, it doesn't really matter. We've got the front end running, we got Keycloak running, so I think we can just so let me just use one of the Keycloak clients. So right, so we logged in, and if we go into, we need to just copy the token, access token. So if you, let me just do it again. I'm just gonna highlight it from here, I'm gonna copy, right, and I'm gonna come back here, get rid of the one that are pasting, the full one that are pasting, and we can get all the decoder payload for ourselves. So back in my application, and got two screens here. So you can see what I'm trying to get here. You see I've got referred email, I got the sub, I've got email there, I've got family family name, I've got given name, I've got preferred name, I've got the name, address. I haven't got the address yet, but you can see what I have actually created here for the user profile, and this is the details I'm getting. I think when I build up the address, I will also add it here. Right, so in the Keycloak, back in Keycloak, I am using that user interface, and that is what I'm using to do my user stuff. So there are places where I'm getting the username. You know, here I've got the user profile, so I'm saying that this user profile is equals to Keycloak, load user information. So let's start from the, and in the next videos I'm gonna go into depth, step by step, of the front end, and we're gonna build the front end from scratch, because I think it will be much more useful for us to build it from scratch. So see you then. Thanks for watching.